was way louder than I expected. Anyway, welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Friday, September 30th, 2022, and this is an extra show, and I'll be sharing true paranormal stories from the web. As always, you can find all the episodes, along with links to social media, ways to donate, and ways to contact me at the podcast page. And that is salcidoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions, or if you have stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others that you trust. Happy to either share them by reading them or have you join me on the show to talk about them. This is an extra show, as I said, so the next show will be Sunday, and it'll be more true paranormal stories from the web. And then next Monday will be the news. Tuesday will be more stories. Wednesday will be another book review episode. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. We'll see. And then Thursday will be more news. So that is the plan for the next week. Okay, so thank you all for listening as always, whether you're here for the live streams, I see you there, or you listen to the podcast or YouTube feeds. Always appreciate all the listeners, either way. And I think that takes care of everything for now. And so I can get to the stories here. I have 3 of them for you all tonight. And I'll get started with this first one here. And we'll go from there. So this one says, when I was about 5, I used to see shadow people. I was scared of them at first, but got used to them after a while. When I was scared, I moved my dresser against my wall. It used to be spaced away from the wall. When I put it up against the wall, the shadow people would disappear. I'd say it was less than a week I had the overall encounter. Possibly longer. I just forget. I'm 20 now. But I remember putting my dresser against the wall, and after a while, I just felt sad. Lonely. Like more than just if I felt sad about it. I talked to my neighbor about energies and stuff, and she mentioned I probably closed off their portal, and they didn't mean me harm. They just wanted to exist freely. We used to talk and interact, but I don't remember about what. There was 5 of them, and I believe 2 of them were meant to be females. Just very interesting to me, and I want to hear opinions, thoughts, ideas, and similar stories. And of course, this is posted on a website, so really amazing story there, even though it's somewhat short. Just in terms of what was this experience? Did the kid at the time I was a kid, did the writer really close off a portal somehow by moving that dresser? Or were they still feeling energy from that area because they mentioned that they had felt sad after they did that? And I wonder as well, of course, even though they don't remember, what they apparently they communicated there. They talked. I'm not sure. But it's really amazing that they had that experience, and I can understand it being frightening at first, but then apparently they got used to it, but then yet they still wanted it to stop, apparently, which I don't blame them for that, especially as a kid. But I wonder if it makes I have a hard time with the idea of just a dresser being able to close what is some kind of an energy portal. Not to say that that's not possible, but it just seems odd to me. But if they didn't appear again, maybe it wasn't even a matter of they couldn't. They just took that as an indication of um, he wanted he or she wanted their privacy. The writer wanted their privacy in their room, and so they didn't come back anymore because of that. More so um, than it actually being a portal that was closed. Um, so there's a lot of variables there that but make it a really amazing story, especially if there really was no harm meant by any of the whatever those shadow figures were, um, and then they left. So neat story there. Yeah. Hello, Mike in chat. I see you there. Mike says, I only appreciate all the listeners if they don't leave crummy comments. Yeah, that helps. That helps if everyone leaves nice comments. So, but yeah, so neat story, and it just seems like there's a lot of variables to that whole situation as to how it started, of course, and how it ended. Um, so I don't know. It's really a neat story. So I'll go on to the next one here, and let's see here. So this one says, once I find it, there we go. This one says, when I was a little girl, my family moved to a small town from the city. The place we had lived before was dangerous and not ideal for raising a child. My parents purchased the property at the end of the road and moved in a double wide trailer. But as I was a curious child, one thing was far more interesting to me. There was a dilapidated shack on the property. We didn't ask about it or tear it down. I would go inside sometimes, but if a yellow jacket nest or sticky spider web didn't deter me, a feeling of being watched did. I recall talking to my mother in the bathroom when I was maybe 5. We could smell sweet smoke. Neither of my parents smoked, and we never had guests. I looked everywhere for a source to no avail. Months later, I was playing with one of the dogs near the shed. Her tail stopped wagging, and she froze in her tracks. I then saw what she did. An aged man, that's a hard word to say for some reason, in a gray suit with a thick mustache and bowler cap was passing us, headed straight to the trailer. Smoke drifted from his pipe. Hey, did... And then my words were cut off. I was going to tell him not to wake my mother and come back later until I realized I could see through his legs. I was petrified. He then turned to me and tipped his hat in a rather gentlemanly greeting before dissipating into mist and vanishing. That was the only time I saw him, but I would still occasionally smell the smoke of his pipe, feeling comforted by what must have been a kindly spirit watching over my family. So that one is neat in that you have possibly whoever this was, um, just walking around the property, moving around the property. It's neat, although it is odd that it seems like maybe this whoever this was or whatever this was, this being was in the same house with them at times, and they didn't realize it because they just smelled this pipe smoke, tobacco smoke, maybe. Um, it makes you wonder why he was there. Although it sounds like maybe I wonder if he was only ever there when the father was not there. It seemed like the father was not involved in that story directly, so it could have been a protective thing. Um, it's just hard to say. But then the sighting, that is neat that the dog seemed to sense it first and spot it first. That happens again and again in stories. Pets, dogs and cats, seem to sense things that people don't always pick up on. Maybe because the writer at the time was a little girl, a young kid, made it a little bit easier to pick up on it as well. Although the mother apparently still also smelled the smoke when it was inside the house. So, sounds like a haunting there going on, or an entity that was there, but doesn't seem like it was anything bad. So that's the main thing. So, neat story, and makes you wonder what was it doing there. Did it have history with the property? Um, Hard to say. So I have one more story here. This one says, "I've never considered my childhood home haunted, but I still can't make logical sense of this happening. My friend is the one who actually witnessed the unexplainable in my home. I had a friend over one day. We had just gotten back from an outing, and we both needed to use the restroom. My house has two restrooms in it, so we both took one and did our business. These bathrooms were located within close proximity of each other. As I was finishing up, I heard my friend calling my name. I yelled back, saying, 'What?' But she just continued to call for me. I could hear her voice fading as she was moving in the direction opposite of where the restroom I was in was located. I finished up as quickly as I could so I could see what she wanted. I found her When I found her, she told me that as she was leaving the restroom she was in, she saw someone at the end of the hall. She assumed it was me, as I was the only one in the house other than her at the time. The only weird thing is that whoever she thought was me was wearing red shorts. I did not own red shorts. She followed this figure to my brother's room, and when she looked into his room, no one was there. But the red shorts the figure was wearing was laying on the floor of his room. When she told me this, we got the heck out of there. Ever since that experience, I haven't experienced anything in my home. My friend is a mortician and deals with death on an almost daily basis. She has several unexplained stories ever since starting this job. It makes me wonder if her work with the dead may be related to this experience, as she is the one that witnessed everything, and nothing strange has happened since. So that's the end of the story there. Um, it's really odd that the shorts were apparently a physical thing that were lying on the floor of the room. In that when the friend saw the figure and then lost them, I wonder if it was a male figure. They didn't really say, but and if that's the case, then even if it wasn't, how how did that work? Was there some apparition actually wearing those shorts somehow? Um, or did they just take the appearance of them? Um, there's really a lot of questions there. And then regarding the hello APOC. Actually, we're just getting done. But the 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 friend having all the experiences is also something that the writer notes, and that is good that they realize that. Um, I wonder if they were right about that. If somehow, I don't know that it could be that way with everyone that's in that industry. It seems like that would be a lot of people, but still, it is odd. Maybe there's some kind of connection there where some people that do get involved is some people that do get involved um, choose that career because of some kind of spiritual or um, emotional connection to wanting to do that, to be part of that career. Um, Hello, Rohan. Yeah, for answers, I'm coming up short. Yeah, there you go. Um, it's really a good question, and I wonder that's makes me want to look into that actually. Not sure how I would do it, but seems like that could be a fun episode. So, um, but unfortunately, that is all the stories I have for today. Just three of them, and but I'll be back again on Sunday with more stories. And this episode, of course, will be up and available on the podcast and YouTube feeds by tomorrow afternoon at the latest. So, thank you all for listening as always, and I will talk to you on Sunday on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Take care, everyone.